All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Sunrise Yoga. My name's Nikki. On behalf of Yoga Buzz, myself, and the Gateway Arch Parks, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Today we will have 2 blocks or any other props that you have if you don't have blocks. And JJ says good morning as well. If you don't have blocks, you can use water bottles, books, anything like that with some support. And towards the end, if you'd like a little extra support on your lower back or anywhere else, you can use a rolled up blanket, towel, or pillow. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I do have a suggested playlist on my Spotify called Cinco de Yoga, and then the date 050520, and my Spotify is Fit Nikki, FITNIKKI number 2. So just a suggested playlist you can play quietly in the back at any time. And today we're going to have a little more grounded practice today. So we will get started in a nice, or actually let's get started on our back. So you can move your props out of the way. Come on down on your back. You can have knees bent in like a butterfly position. You can have knees bent, feet wide, knees fall into each other, or if a seat is more comfortable, you can go ahead and take that as well. And if you're on your back, maybe even take one hand to your heart and one to your belly. Feel free to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Just focus in on your breath here. We're going to take 3 nice, slow rounds of breath. Big breath in through the nose. Feel your lungs and your belly expand. Nice big exhale. Start to feel your muscles soften a bit with that exhale, letting go of stress, tension, and tightness that you're feeling. Let's take one more big breath in. One more big breath out. Feel free to keep your eyes closed, your gaze soft. Reach your arms overhead. I'm always knocking my props around. Arms overhead, legs long. Wrap your left fingers around your right wrist. And then slowly bring your upper body, lean your upper body over to the left, and then scooch your legs to the left as well, so you make a C shape or banana shape with your body. Take a few breaths here. Really try and focus on lengthening out the right side of your body. I hate to think about the side that was for a moment. So if you're on the ground, you're like this. And just imagine creating space, lengthening out from the outer edge of the right foot up through the ankle, outside of the leg, knee, up through your hip, side of your body, creating space between your ribs, your armpit, up through your upper arm, elbow, wrist, all the way up to the edge of your fingers. On your next inhale, bring yourself back to center. Exhale, switch sides, wrapping the right fingers around the left wrist, and then leaning your body over to the left side, or right side, stretching out the left side of your body. Might be one of those mornings, guys, with my left and my right. So a couple of stretches here, lengthening out the side of the body, just creating space. Each exhale, just let the muscles soften a little bit more. Take one more breath here. Really lengthen it all out. And then as you inhale, come back to center. Now bring your knees in towards your belly. Leave your lower back on the mat and your shoulders on the mat as well. So you can just hold the knees here and maybe rock a little side to side or draw some little circles with your knees. And take a couple breaths here. And then you're going to take your feet flat on the mat, knees bent, and take them about mat distance. And you can take your arms out by your side if that feels good. As you exhale, let your knees fall over to the right side. Inhale, bring them back up to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back to center. And you're going to keep moving with your breath here for this twist. And I want you to think about how your body feels on that mat. How the back of your head, back of your shoulders, upper back, and your hips and your feet, maybe the back of your arms, feel as they gently rest down on the ground. And let's take one more time each side. So wherever you're at in your breath, move at your pace. And we'll all meet back at center. Then you're going to gently bring your knees in towards your chest and rock and roll long on your spine a few times. So from your shoulders to your tailbone. And maybe the third or fourth time coming up to seated, and you can roll forward into tabletop or swing your legs around, whatever is comfortable for you. Finding your way into this tabletop position. So take a moment to set up here. Spread your fingers, press into your knuckles to take a little pressure off the wrists. Press into your knees, the tops of your feet and toes. Imagine a line from the tip of your tailbone through the back of your head so your gaze is down towards the mat. On your next inhale, let your belly drop and then your head and your hips rise. Exhale, arch your back up to the sky, maybe pressing a little bit more into the mat, into the ground. And then inhale, the belly drops again and the head and the hips rise. Take a few cat-cows here, starting to really warm up the back. Maybe take a little side-to-side movement if that feels good, or maybe sit the hips back a bit, or any other variation that you like here. Go ahead and take that. We're going to take one more full round of breath. And friends, please feel free to take any variations or modifications that you need today. Listen to your body. I'm here to guide you, but this is your class. So ramp it up if that's what you want. Keep it super chill, low key. Maybe take Shavasana the whole time. Whatever you want. Let's all meet in that nice tabletop position. And we're going to come down to our elbows. So take your elbow, each elbow comes under your shoulder. Fingers are spread, palms pressed down. You're going to tuck your toes and you're just going to lift your knees a little bit. Maybe push your hips up and back a bit, but keep a nice bend to those knees. Press into your elbows. Almost pressing yourself away from the mat. Press into the knuckles, shoulder blades slide at the back. And then let the knees come back down. We're going to do that one more time. Press into your elbows, press into the knuckles. Press your hips up and then back. And pressing your chest towards your thighs, letting your neck and your jaw relax. Pressing the elbows into the mat. Pressing the balls of the feet into the mat as well. And then let the knees float back down. Come up to your hands. We're going to bring it into our down dog. So keep your hands here, move them forward, whatever's comfortable for your down dog. Tuck your toes, press your hips up and back. Maybe keep a nice bend to the knees. And take about 3 rounds of breath for any moves that you like here. If you like to pedal it out. Sometimes I like to come up to the balls of my feet. Let my knees float down. Come back up. And then let my heels come towards the mat. So take about 1 more round of breath here. And then bring some stillness to your dog. And we're going to take 2 breaths in our down dog. Really focusing on rooting down into the knuckles, lifting up the heel of the hand just a little bit. Elbows hug in. Neck and jaw relax as your shoulder blades slide up your back. Press your chest a little bit closer to your thighs. Soften the knees. Take 1 more breath here. Inhale, glance up towards your hands. Exhale, step your feet little up towards your hands, a little wider than your hips. Let your head hang heavy here. Grab opposite elbows or hands hang, knees are soft. Take 1 full round of breath, imagining your neck and your head is really heavy. Pulling down the spine, creating some space. And then you're going to root down into your feet. So really think about how the ground feels underneath your toes, your toe pads, I guess you call those, your big toe, the joint of your big toe across to your pinky toe, through the outer edge of your foot, inner edge of your foot, and the heel of your foot. Really root down into the ground, just slowly roll up, stack your vertebra one on top of the other. Let your head be the last thing to come up. Whew. Let's give the shoulders a couple shrugs back. Open up your chest. I was really hoping we could have an outdoor practice today. But it's kind of gross out. So hopefully next week. 1 more roll back. Good. And then we're going to find that nice neutral position. So bring your heels under your hips. Roll back and forth through your feet a few times. Really feel that ground. And then get settled down in through your feet. You want to bring your tailbone in line with your spine, so maybe engage the lower abs here. Shoulders are shrugged back so your chest is proud. Palms are open, chin is lifted. Take a breath in through your nose. Fill your belly. Nice big exhale. Inhale to reach up for the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Inhale to reach up. Make sure you're pressing through the entire sole of your both feet as you fold forward. Halfway lift, come to a nice long spine so your fingers can come to the ground, to your blocks, to your shins or your thighs, and fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to your tabletop. Bring your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Take your right foot, stretch it back behind you. Sweep it over to the left side, maybe glance over, and then bring it all the way through. Bring your knee to your elbow. Just going to warm up the hips for a moment here. So take it back behind you, over to the left side. If you have props, something behind you, look out. And then sweep it knee to elbow. Let's take that one more time. Sweep it all the way back. Over to the left. Knee to elbow. Then take that leg straight back behind you. Then bring it to the outside of your right hand. Maybe tuck your left toe, scoot your knee back. Take a pause here. So feel free to roll up your mat a bit or put a little blanket to cushion your knee if this bothers your knee. You want your right knee and ankle and toes to be in line with each other. And we're going to come up into a nice lunge. So feel free to have your blocks by your side if you would like. And we're going to bring the arms up and find this shape here. See what feels right today. So remember, blocks are our friends. I always like to tell people, blocks are our friends. They are here to lift us up. They're here to give us support, to take us places in poses that we've never been. Blocks are awesome, so are straps. No matter what level of your practice, props are always helpful. Fingers reach to the sky. Pull back a little bit on that right hip. Keep the knee in line with the toes. Relax the shoulders. Pinkies turns in towards each other. Corners of the mouth turn up because we're so happy to be doing our sunrise yoga together today. Inhale to lengthen up. Exhale, hinge forward. Plant your left hand under your shoulder, ground or block. Right fingers reach up to the sky. So lots of options with this twist. You can tuck your back toe and float your knee. You can keep the right fingers reaching up. You can take hand to your hip, wrap it around your lower back, maybe reaching for the crease of your left hip, opening up the shoulder. You can even take that arm to ear if that feels good as well. On your next exhale, wherever that arm's at, you're going to come down, bring it inside of your right foot, lower your knee if it's lifted, step back to tabletop, and then sit your hips back to child's pose. So knees together or take them wide. Hips sink back, and we're going to take a full breath here. Inhale, rise back up into that tabletop, and you're going to take that left leg back behind you, sweep it over to the right side, maybe glance over there. Then exhale, sweep that leg all the way around knee to elbow. Bring it back and over to the right side. Sweep it all the way through knee to elbow. We're going to do that one more time. Leg sweeps back, over to the side. I'm just knocking everything around today. And then knee to elbow. Take that leg straight back behind you. Then bring it outside of your left hand. Maybe tuck that right toe, scoot your knee back. Grab your blocks if you need them. Again, take your friends, have them right here. And then you're going to rise up into that lunge. Knee and toe in line with each other. Shoulders are relaxed. Pinkies turn towards each other to say hi. Take a big inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale to hinge forward. Right hand comes under your shoulder to the ground or the block. Left fingers reach up. Maybe wrap around your back. Maybe tuck your back toe and float your knee. It's whatever's feeling good here today. You're going to take one more big inhale. Exhale, bring that hand inside of your foot. Step back to tabletop. Press back to child's pose. Take a breath here. And think about, if your forehead's on the ground, think about that gentle pressure on your forehead, maybe relaxing your forehead, those muscles, that tension that we hold sometimes in our face. And then rise back up into tabletop. We're going to add a little more movement. Take that right foot back behind you. This time bring it inside of your right hand. Find your way into a nice lunge. Relaxing the shoulders down the back. Knee in line with your toe. Inhale to reach up, and we're going to take a little twist. And bend the elbows or take the arms long as you twist it to the right. So you want that twist to come from your waist, keeping your hips square to the front. And then inhale back up to center. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Nice little twist to the right. And bring it up. Good. One more time. Take that twist. As you're twisting, really think of pressing down into that right foot and the top of your left foot. Come on back to center. And then we're going to take a little back bend. So you're just going to glance up at the ceiling or the sky if you are outside. Maybe bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together a bit. Come on back up to center. And let's do that 2 more times. Nice little back bend, doesn't have to be a big move. Relax your shoulders away from the ears. Come on back to center. And let's take that 1 more time. And as you're taking that back bend, again, you're pressing down into that right foot, into the left knee and the top of the left foot. Back up to center. Fold forward, plant your hands, step back to tabletop. Sit your hips back to child's pose. Rise back up into tabletop. And left leg comes back behind you. Bring it inside of your hand. Find your lunge on this side. Good, and we're going to start with that twist to the left. So hips stay square, arms open up or elbows bent. Come on back to center. We've got 2 more twists here. And back on up. And exhale, twist from the waist. Come on back up to center. And let's take those 3 little back bends. Again, that doesn't have to be a big move. Just glance up. Press down into that left foot to come back up. Little back bend here. And bring it back. And let's take 1 more big back bend here, or little back bend, whatever you want. And bring it up. And hinge forward, plant your hands to frame your foot, step back to tabletop, back to down dog. I am all tongue-tied today, guys. And let's come on back up. Good, take that right foot back behind you, bring it inside of your hand. And we're going to put those together. Rise up, exhale, take that twist. Inhale, back up. Exhale, little back bend. Inhale, back up. Fold forward, plant your hands, step back to tabletop. Sit back to child's pose. Come on back up into tabletop. Left leg reaches back. Comes inside of your hand and rise up into your lunge. Twist it to the left. Come on back up to center. Take that little back bend. Come on back up. Plant your hands back to tabletop. Press back to child's pose. And we're going to add a cool little move on the next flow. So if you've been in my class, you may have done a kneeling warrior 2 before. So we're going to come into that. So again, if this is rough on your knees, please feel free to fold a mat or put some cushioning underneath. So right foot comes back behind. Bring that foot up, scoot the left knee back, and you're going to take the left toes and you're going to take them to the right side of the mat. Then you're going to walk yourself around to the left side and rise up, open up the arms. So you want to take this right leg and you're going to keep your knee bent, knee in line with your toe. You're going to lean towards the right. So you have a little diagonal with the left. And you're going to inhale, reach up for the sky, straighten the right leg. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart, bend the right knee. Good, let's go one more time. Reach it up. Open up into that kneeling warrior 2. And this time, reach forward with the right hand. Bring your hand inside of your leg, maybe put a block there. Left hand reaches up or bicep to ear. Come back up into that warrior 2, and we're going to reverse our warrior. So take the right hand, reach it up and back. Left hand can come to your side, the ground or a block. Come back up into that warrior 2. Ooh, so we're going to cartwheel our hands down to frame the right foot. You're going to turn your left toes to the back of the mat. Step back into tabletop and sit back into child's pose. Come on back up into that tabletop, and we're going to take the left side. Left leg comes back, and then bring that foot forward. You're going to take your right toes to the left edge of the mat. Walk yourself around to the right side, and find that warrior 2 on this side. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Press down into that left foot as you lengthen the leg. Exhale, hands to heart, bend that knee. Press into that left foot. Good, let's go again. Reach up to the sky, lengthen that leg. Open up your arms, warrior 2. And reach forward with the left hand, then bring it inside of your left leg, maybe to a block. Right fingers reach up or arm to ear. Take a big breath here. Rise back up into that warrior two. Then we're going to flip the left palm. Reach the fingers up and back. Right hand can come to your leg, a block or the ground. And come on back up. Cartwheel your hands down to frame the left foot. Turn your right toes to the back of the mat. Step back into tabletop. Sit back into child's pose. Rise on up into that tabletop. Tuck your toes. Press your hips up and back. Down dog. Good. Next, exhale. Step or hop your feet forward and roll it up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We're just going to bring the practice up a little bit, but still rooting through the feet. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold forward. Lift halfway. Nice long spine. And fold. You're going to step the right foot back. Come up into a lunge. Feel free to lower your knee for some support. Inhale to reach up. Take that twist to the left side. So I'm mixing it up for you guys today. Come on back to center. Take that little back bend. And it's okay if you did the other side because we'll get them both done. Root down into that front foot to try and stay steady and come on back up. Good. And then you're going to press all of your weight, take all of your weight into that left leg. Shift your weight into that left foot. Float your right knee. Ooh, coming up into crane pose, mixing it up a bit here, throwing our balances into the flow. So if you're like me, my hip always pops up. So I want to press down on the right hip a bit to make my hips square. Keep your right foot flexed. Take a big breath here. Root down into that left foot, soften the left knee. Stay here. If you would like a little more challenge, you can straighten out that right leg. You can maybe even grab your right big toe with your left hand, but you want to be standing up tall. So if you're here, you're not going to be able to balance as well. But if you can stand up straight, grab that big toe, knee bent, or leg long. Then you're going to take that right hand, reach it back behind you. Maybe your gaze follows as well. Maybe it doesn't. So you've got 2 breaths here. And I want you to really think about pulling that breath into the bottom of your lungs. Rooting down into that left foot. Soften your left knee so it doesn't lock up on you. Feel free to step out of it if you need to. And on your next inhale, come back into center. Hands to your heart, set that foot down. Take a big breath in and reach up to the sky. Soften your knees to fold forward. Halfway lift, nice long spine. And fold. Step the left foot back. Rise up into your lunge. Good, we're going to take one twist to the right, hips stay square. Take that twist from the waist. Press down into the right foot to come back up. Take that little back bend. Doesn't have to be a big move. Come on back up to the center. Hands to your heart. Shift all your weight into that right leg, that right foot. Float the left knee. Take a moment to find your balance on this side. You're rooting down into all 4 corners of that right foot. Even out the hips. Keep the left foot flexed, just like it's pressing down into the earth like the right foot. Shoulders shrug back. Stay here. Maybe lengthen that leg. That can be super intense on the hamstring. Maybe grab your big toe with your hand and stand up nice and tall. Take the left arm back behind you. Maybe your gaze follows, maybe it doesn't. Take a couple breaths here. Breathe it into the bottom of your lungs. As you exhale, imagine rooting down a little bit more into that right foot and really softening the muscles so they're not tensing up on you. One more breath wherever you're at. And you're going to come back to center and set that foot down. So you want to take your blocks and bring them to the front, because this time we're going to add a warrior 3 instead of that twist. And blocks are always awesome for warrior three. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to reach up. Soften your knees to fold forward. Halfway lift. Nice long spine. And fold. Take that right foot back behind you. Rise up into your lunge. Root down into that left foot to take your little twist from the waist. Back up to center. And then we're going to take that little back bend. Ooh, and then come on back up. Shift your weight into that left foot. Float the right knee. Square up the hips. Actually, I'll take it from here. Good. Soften that left knee. Keep the spine long as you hinge forward. Keep the right foot flexed, and see these blocks are nice and handy to bring your hands to. Bring your hands into your shoulders. Press your right heel towards, if you have a wall behind you, back wall. So a lot of times our hip pops up because it makes that move a little easier to balance. Today, I want you to think about dialing your hip bones and your toe down to face the ground. Soften the left knee. Nice long spine, so gaze is towards the ground. And you can stay right here, or maybe take hands up to your heart. See how that feels. Maybe take them forward or back behind you like you're floating through the air. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. Really pull that breath down to the bottom of your lungs. Root down into all 4 corners of that left foot. Relax your jaw and your neck. Relax your tongue. Keep the right foot flexed, just like it's pressing down into the earth. On your next inhale, gently rise up. Float that right knee up again. Set it down, and let's try the other side. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, nice long spine. And fold. Step the left foot back. Rise up into your lunge. Take that twist to the right side. Come on back to center. Take a nice little back bend. Come on back to center. Shift your weight into the right leg. Float the left knee. Square up your hips and flex your foot. Nice long spine as you hinge forward. You can take your hands down to those blocks. Flexing the right foot, or the left foot, dialing the toes and the hip bones down. Soften the right knee as you root down through that foot. So again, feel free to stay here. Maybe try one or both hands to your heart. Back by your sides like you're flying through the air. Or forward kind of like you're holding a beach ball. Root down into that right foot. Soften the knee so it doesn't tense up on you. Keep flexing the left foot, pushing through the heel. You got one more full breath here. And on your next inhale, gently rise up. Float that left knee again and set that foot down. Give it a shake out. Awesome job, guys. I know, even though I don't see you, I know you did awesome. Let's take a big breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And we're going to soften our knees. Find your way down onto your back. So I like to just come on back down. Make sure you're sitting about midway on your mat and you have your props by your side. I just put them up a little bit, otherwise I run into them. Bring yourself down onto your back. Lift your right leg up to the sky, or bring your right knee into your chest first. Give it a little hug. And then lift that leg up to the sky. And let's draw some little circles with our ankle, with our foot. And if you can grab the back of your thigh or your shin, but you want to try and keep your back and your shoulders down on the mat. Now let's take the right ankle, put it in front of the left thigh. Flex your foot and keep your knee and your hip open. So you can stay right here. Maybe bring your legs in towards your belly. Maybe reach for the left thigh or shin. Try and keep your shoulders and your hips on the mat. Flexing both feet to keep the legs active and taking nice deep breaths. So again, we're focusing, trying to keep the back nice and flat into the mat. And you're going to take 2 more breaths here in your nice reclined pigeon. This is also a really great pose if you're having some lower back issues. This is a nice pose, maybe with a little rock side to side, to relax and release the lower back. On your next exhale, let the left foot float back down to the mat. Stay here in this figure 4, arms by your side. Exhale, let your legs fall over to the left side. And then inhale, bring them back up to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. You're going to take 2 more times each side, moving with your breath. So it may be different than mine, and that's okay. Really think about, as you're rocking back and forth, pressing your lower back into the mat each time. So rocking on that lower back, giving it a little bit extra massage, pressing down into the shoulders, back of the head presses into the mat. Excuse me. And come on back up. And let's switch sides. Set that left foot down, or right foot down. Left leg comes into your chest. Lift that leg up towards the sky. Maybe grab your thigh if you can. Draw some little circles. So again, try and keep your back as flat on the mat or the ground as you can. We'll take a few breaths here. Good, let's take that left ankle in front of your right thigh, flexing both feet, opening up the left hips, and bringing the legs in towards the belly, keeping your back as flat on the mat as you can. Take a couple breaths here in your reclined pigeon. And friends, while we're sitting here relaxing, if you can, Gateway Arch Foundation and Yoga Buzz, they love bringing this yoga free for everyone, making it accessible for everyone. If you are able to make a donation, they both are accepting donations. Yoga Buzz also has a really cool monthly membership donation program through Patreon, and you can find that on their website and probably on their Facebook page as well. For as little as $5 up to like $200 and something, you can be a monthly member and get some really cool extra prizes with it as well. Let's go ahead and let that left foot come down to the mat and take our twists here. Exhale, bring it over to the right side. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale to the left. Back up to center. You're going to go 2 more times each side with your breath at your pace. Really think of keeping the lower back on the ground if you can, rolling through the lower back, massaging it out. And friends, if you really enjoy my yoga classes, I do have yoga and fitness classes on my Facebook and YouTube pages, and they're both called A Balanced Life with Fit Nikki. Feel free to check those out as well. And let's all meet back up at center. Bring both knees into your chest for a hug. Set your feet down on the mat. Gently lift your hips and take whatever prop you'd like, a block, or if you have a cushion you'd like to put, go ahead and put it under your lower back. Lift your shoulders, shrug them back. Settle back in so you can keep your feet down. You can take them up for waterfall. You can take them long letting your knees, your hips, and your toes open up. We're going to take 3 rounds of breath here, nice and slow. And as you're breathing, I want you to really just notice how your body feels, whatever area is on the mat. Maybe your feet, your upper back, the back of your head. And notice how your low back feels with that block as well. Just take notice what feels good, maybe what doesn't. Maybe if you have one side that is pressing a little bit more down into the earth. We're going to take one more full breath here. If this feels really awesome, you can keep this block here for your Shavasana. If not, you can, if you want something different, lift your hips, slide that prop out, and find a more comfortable position. Maybe legs long, arms by your side. Maybe take that butterfly or bound angle. Maybe even take a seat, whatever's feeling good to you. We're going to take a few rounds of breath here. If you want a longer Shavasana, I do suggest when I finish talking or at any point to go ahead and turn the video off so it doesn't switch on to another video and kind of interrupt you. But before we get into that Shavasana, I want you guys to take a few breaths here. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. And just focus on whatever area of your body is on the earth. Focus on how that feels. Focus on that connection between the earth and between your body. Let that earth support you. Let it take some weight and some pressure off of you. It seems like it's been forever since we've all been separated from each other. And I know I think it's been about 6 weeks. I kind of lost track. But it's very stressful, very traumatic, and it affects everyone differently. So whatever you're feeling is totally okay. Sometimes just focusing on grounding down into the earth, feeling that support of the earth, rooting down into it, sometimes that helps to bring your focus back to yourself and your body. Start to focus in on your breath as well as that rooted down, that grounded feeling. Really noticing how your body feels as you inhale. Does it press more into the earth? And notice how it feels as you exhale. Maybe it softens your muscles a little bit more. Friends, I can't wait for the time that we can safely see each other in person and see each other's smiles and feel each other's fantastic energy. I miss you guys so much. I hope to see you soon. On behalf of Yoga Buzz, Gateway Arch Foundation, and myself, I really appreciate you guys joining me for some sunrise yoga. Unfortunately, no sunrise. So take as long as you need here. From my heart to yours, friends. Peace, love, and good health. Hope to see you guys soon. Lots of love.